Hello everyone, this is Grant Gibson. Have you ever had one individual that stood right out as being an individual who you really felt was a role model to you, a mentor? Well, I have one such individual that stands so strong in that placement, and that gentleman's name is John Okrainec. John Okrainec became and was a good friend of mine, or to me, right up until his death, which happened in Fort St. John on Charlie Lake in an aircraft accident, which was very unfortunate. This was a few years back, or quite a few years back. Well, John Okrainec, I got to know when I was flying with Baltic Drilling, when I first got hired on in 1975-76. My boss, Jack Banks, put me on to and got a hold of his friend in Fort St. John, who was a very knowledgeable local pilot. And John Okrainec is this individual. Well, John was given the chore, or I guess, of introducing me to the Fort St. John country and fly with me and teach me some bush flying skills. Now, the bush flying skills that I learned from John were extraordinary. Very basic, fundamental things. And he was always such a role model and mentor that he never acted like he was way above me, even though he had thousands of hours, and at the time I did not. But I learned so much from him, and as a follow-through to that, John became a very good friend and peer of mine over the years. We had flown together many times. We had gone on fishing trips. We had gone up to his a fishing cabin that he had at a place called Denatia Lake, which is up in the trench south of Watson Lake. We flew up there in floats with multiple airplanes and had great times. And John was the individual that I just know that really impacted my thinking. He trusted a person so much. He allowed me to fly his airplane over the years if I wanted to use it. He said his only requirements were, Grant, I ask you to look after the airplane. Please keep it clean, full of gas. Keep it the way you get it, and that's spotless. But you go ahead and use it. Very few people entrust you to their possessions to that degree. Well, John Okrainec was one of those men. I was a very fortunate man through Jack Banks to have met John Okrainec, and to this day, John Okrainec stands very high. He's a giant among men, I do have to say. And I have to thank John Okrainec for being the man he was to me. And towards the end of his, just shortly before he died, I'd say within 3 months or so, I happened to be doing some flying in Mackenzie, and I decided to go over to Fort St. John and gave him a call when I was over there. John and his wife and myself went and had lunch at a local restaurant in Fort St. John, and it was a very beautiful thing because it was one of those last minutes I had an opportunity to spend time with John. And it was only 3 months later where I got a phone call in Mackenzie from one of his sons to let me know that John had passed away in an aircraft accident, which was very unfortunate. It was his own aircraft. So the end of this session, I'm just saying that John was one of those people that is a giant among men, and I learned so much from. And I think it's a wonderful thing that when you can look back and say that about someone. So have a great day, and we look forward to the next little session here. Bye for now.